recognize you. You don't wanna miss it, got that dope as guessing we kick it. Stay lit like the night before Christmas. Tony and Duke, best in the business, watch them get it. Go to YouTube, search IBNX Radio, the Lit Network. Entertainment guarantee, have you laughing to your because we lit. That right, we lit. You know we lit. We lit, we lit, we lit. Tony and Duke stay lit. Turn it up, they lit. Start the show, they lit.
Welcome to Monday night, 9 p.m. to 11. Y'all know how we do. Y'all know what we do. We appreciate everybody for tuning in and listening. I hope everybody has had an amazing, wonderful start to their week. Motivational Monday, a great Monday. I know I've been having a great Monday. You know what I'm saying? Usually my Mondays be kind of dragging. But this Monday, I woke up in good spirits. I'm feeling good. I've been networking and just having a good time. Like, I'm just really excited today. I don't know what's going on, but I'm just excited today. You know what I'm saying? And I want to reach out and I want to share my positive energy to the next person. And I really hope that you can get some of this energy because it is a great space to be in. I had a great weekend. I didn't really do too much besides, my regular acting rehearsals and stuff like that. I'm getting ready to start another project. Just found out, got the dates for that. I've been meeting with some amazing executives in some great spaces. So stay tuned. We got some great things coming up for the Lit Network that I am so proud of. My counterpart, he'll be here shortly. We love him, and he's working. Sometimes we gotta work beyond work, and he'll be here shortly. So while we wait on him, we're just gonna go ahead and play the first song of the night. And you know what? It's the holiday season, and so I'm probably gonna play this song out until I can't play it anymore. And independent artists, I want y'all to send in your music. I don't know what it is, but independent artists, if y'all have some holiday music, send it in. It is Christmas time. And yes, I understand that people are starving and people are in need, but it's still a time to think positive and be happy. So thank you to Double O. Y'all may have heard this, but y'all gonna hear it again. It is called Santa, Where You At? We lit!
We're all busy loading up the sleigh right now, but please leave me a message and I will listen to it just as soon as I return.
Hey, this Santa. Hey, yo, why you not picking up the phone, man? I'm trying to tell you my kids need some stuff. We need bikes. We need some stuff, man.
This Christmas, we gon' do it all. Have a ball. Gave my boy Santa a call, but the line off the hook. Guess it's up to me to fill up the tree. And the stocking fat man got me shopping. Left me without an option. My lady want a new ride. My daughter want a brother. And I don't think this list can get any tougher. Got my mama a dress. Bought my daddy a vest. Santa, pick up the phone. I gotta tell you the rest. It's a madhouse. I'm hanging lights, hiding gifts. Left me alone, no word to shift. Thought we was partners in crime. You ain't no partner of mine. Leaving me solo dolo at Christmas time. I can't believe you, boy. Santa Claus, where you at? My kids been writing letters, but you ain't hit us back.
Waiting on that big man, dog. Christmas will probably never happen at all.
Santa Claus, where you at? My kids been writing letters, but you ain't hit us back.
Waiting on that big man, dog. Christmas will probably never happen at all. It was 3 days before Christmas, talking to my missus like, yo, I know I'm out on the road, but soon I'll be home, baby, I miss you. Blowing me phone kisses like, what we gon' get the kids this Christmas? The oldest won't clothes, he online shopping for J's. The youngest want video games and other things he can play. I got some things from my dad, I told her go give them back. I got it under control, don't worry girl, I'm on the way. Already done ordered X-Men and Batman toys, video games, and I got sports of all sorts. So many clothes you won't believe it. And when it comes to them J's, already got 3 pairs. The day before Christmas, my son came to me like, yo dad, why Santa ain't put no gifts under the tree? I'm like, get back, don't get mad, relax. I'm pulling gifts out the bag like, open your eyes, surprise, surprise.
Santa Claus, where you at? My kids been writing letters, but you ain't hit us back.
Waiting on that big man, dog. Christmas will probably never happen at all.
Santa Claus, where you at? My kids been writing letters, but you ain't hit us back.
Waiting on that big man, dog. Christmas will probably never happen at all.
What is up now? I don't know. What do y'all want for Christmas? Like, y'all, I'm gonna put a post out on our social media page, and I want y'all to let me know what y'all would want for Christmas, because I don't know what it is about this year, but it's a hard time to kind of figure out what people want, and I'm trying to get some good gifts from people. I mean, I don't know. Like, what's a good gift? Matter of fact, if you're watching live, put down in the comments what's a good gift to get for your significant others, because I want to know some good quality stuff. Like, you know what I'm saying? If you have a husband, you know, tell me what you're getting for your husband. If they not watching, you don't want to, you know, give the gifts away. But if they are not watching, you know what I'm saying, tap in. Let me know what you're getting them. For your wives, let me know what you're getting those. For your kids, if you got kids, let me know what you're getting your kids. I just really want to know what's the gift giving looking like in the midst of a pandemic. Like, are we going all out? Or are we being a little more reserved because, you know, we've had job losses, we've had family losses, and we've had so much going on this year. I'm just trying to figure out, what are y'all getting each other for Christmas? Like, I don't know if it's imperative, but I want to know. I don't know if you want to know, but I want to know what y'all are getting your people for Christmas. Like, how are we even celebrating Christmas in the midst of a pandemic? Like, are we meeting up with families? I know for Thanksgiving we had we had smaller get-togethers. I mean, some people did break the rules, but you know, those rule breakers will be rule breakers regardless. But are you having a big Christmas time? Are y'all all meeting up with your family? Are you not? So put it in the comments. Let me know. I'm not gonna drain y'all with that. We're gonna move on to the next segment. It's Toni's hot tea topics.
If there's something hot to talk about, whatever it is, you know that we gon' put it out here on Toni's Hot Tea Topics. Toni's Hot Tea Topics tonight.
All right, lovers and losers, I am back. I know y'all have been hearing my voice all night long, but thank you for tuning in. Let's go up to mainstream and see what they got going on. So, if y'all have heard about the new Clubhouse app, it is really making some waves out here. There's some real jewels being dropped, but there's also some interesting things going on in there as well. 21 Savage, he decided to mediate a room in Clubhouse between Meek Mills and academics. And if you know, Meek Mill is out here blaming academics for the rap beefs that he's been going through, where 21 Savage brought it to the table and said, you know what? It's time to talk about it. And they did. And the people loved it. They said, you know, 21 Savage must have a future in mediation. They called for him to do the next presidential debate because he did such a great job. And they started off with a real rocky start, but at the end of the day, 21 Savage suggested, you know, we need to own our part in it. You know what I'm saying? He's really showed growth in who he's become as an artist and as a person. And he's saying, you know, we all did our wrongs. You know what I'm saying? Nobody is right in this situation. What we need to do is stop letting social media drive us so much. And, you know what I'm saying? Because we capitalizing on a vote. Because at the end of the day, when somebody's talking about you, when you're in the news, you getting some clout or some praise or some money about all that, because you're getting the interviews and you're getting all that stuff. And he's saying, let's try to spin this around and find a way to come together, to bring it together and find a way to like resolve this and do better, because they can learn from each other and they can use their power to be able to, you know, be a force out in the community. So shout out to 21 Savage. I mean, he is doing it. So he's definitely doing it. So I got people on my IG saying if 21 wasn't there, it would have went left. Meek was very emotional But, you know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying, you know, just to have a mediator. Sometimes we got to remember that we got to have a mediator sometimes. Sometimes we get in our feelings about some things. But, hey, shout out to 21 Savage. You did a great, great, great job. People have been filming it and everything. But, you know what I'm saying? Y'all got to stop filming people on Clubhouse. It's supposed to be private. It's supposed to be exclusive. Y'all be doing the most. Anyway, Bill Gates has warned us that life may not get back to normal till 2022. So while y'all out there having them big parties and with your mask off, y'all might want to conceal that, because it's definitely, you know, them shots, you know what I'm saying, they got to start working, you know what I'm saying, they got a trial and error. So make sure y'all got y'all mask on. I'm seeing a lot of people going to the party with their mask on, but by the end of the party, your mask is off, honey. It is off. And also, you know what I'm saying, you're at the party and you may have your mask on the whole time, but you see your homie, you see your friend, and now you want to take the mask off because you don't want a mask in your photo. Well, guess what? If your friend has COVID and they don't know they have COVID, that time that you taking that picture is exposing you to COVID. So we got to think a little smarter. And I can't say that I'm 100% mask on all the time, but you know what I'm saying, myself included, we definitely got to think a little smarter about what we're doing out there, because, you know what I'm saying, this COVID is taking no prisoners. It's almost like a bullet, because a bullet don't have no name on it, and neither does COVID. So y'all be safe out there. Speaking of COVID, Ashanti. I know everybody was sitting in their living room ready, had their friends over, popcorn popped. Clubs was promoting it, you know what I'm saying, for the Ashanti versus Keisha Cole's versus. But it did not go down because Ashanti caught COVID. But Ashanti says, you know, she's ready. You know what I'm saying? If y'all can stream it from her house, she's down for it if they'll let that happen. But I think, you know what I'm saying, in the beginning, when they were trying to do it in two separate places, it was not going good. It was not a great experience. So I'm glad they condensed it to one location and allowed them to both be in the same space as safe as possible. So get well, Ashanti. She says she's doing good. She's not feeling any pain. She don't really have any major symptoms. So hopefully, you know what I'm saying, she recovers. I don't know how I feel after someone has COVID, if I really like to be back in their space. You know what I'm saying? Because, like, since we still learning about COVID, I don't know that just because you don't feel bad or, you know what I'm saying, it's off you now, that it's still not, you know what I'm saying, dormant in your system and can jump on me. I don't know. But, hey, I'm just saying, welcome. How are you?
I'm great.
Awesome. Also, on the list, I'm going to try to get through Toni Hot Tea Topics. We got Mayor Keisha Bottoms. She said she was offered a position in Joe Biden's cabinet, and she turned it down. Now, she did not name what the position was, but she said, you know, she is Atlanta, and she got to get Atlanta right before she go trying to save the United States of America. So, shout out to Keisha Bottom, very dedicated to Atlanta. I don't know if I would have done the same thing, but I guess, you know what I'm saying, depending on the agreements and how she feels about that situation, she's probably doing the best for her and where she feels her career should be. So, shout out, Keisha, you know what I'm saying? You could turn down some jobs. That's a place to be in when you were like, okay, that sounds cool, but no, thank you. So shout out to Keisha, Mayor Keisha. And let's see, what else we got on this list? This is a long list, y'all, but it's been a lot going on lately.
A whole lot.
Danny Lay, she celebrates. She bought her first home. She wanted to let y'all know, you know, first vibes, since she's been an artist and since she's been, you know, who she is, she was able to purchase her first home. So I want to send some positive vibe, because I know last week we was having that debate with her and the baby's mother of his child. They were all going back and forth over who was spending more time with the baby. So just give her some positive moment that she bought her new home. So congratulations to Danny Lay on that. And I don't know if y'all have seen, but since we're on the round of COVID, the first vaccines have been given out. And so they started out in Queens, New York. They've been giving it out. They showed a African-American woman getting her shot. She has been the first doses. So stay tuned. We'll see how it affects the people in New York first.
That's crazy.
I
mean, the only way that they're really going to, like, you know, where the people's going to be like, okay, well, I got to take it, is, you know, if they tie it to everything that we need.
Well,
if they do it to that, it's going to be
the healthcare providers and the officials, they got to take it first. So that's who the test subjects are right now.
The healthcare providers and the officials?
Like the government officials.
Okay. All right. That's, yeah. Okay.
That's I mean that's who they say they starting with.
It sounds good, you know. That definitely sounds good. But I mean, think about it. If they start tying it to your life insurance and car insurance and being able to get a driver's license or being able to get, you know, like a passport. If they just say, you know, you get a percentage off, people gonna do it. But if they say you can't get it at all, people like, nah, okay, bro, go ahead. What arm you want used? You know what I'm saying? What arm you want injected? I got, you know what I'm saying? Like, think about how many people got passports and travel, you know, on that level. And then think about people who need driver's license. If they just attach it to your driver's license.
I could definitely probably see them attaching it to your travel, especially like when you're trying to go out of the country and stuff like that.
Health insurance, all of that. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you get
I know they were already saying like it's going to be possibly labeled as a precondition, you know what I'm saying? So people trying to get health insurance, if you had COVID, it may be something that kind of goes against you when you're trying to get health insurance. So.
See what I'm saying? That's crazy, man. Like, how you treat people like that? Like, how do you know, lack of care people like that? Like, how do you not care? Like, how do you just treat people like they just livestock? That's the thing about when I look back at America and how they footprint. It's like you just treat people like they just, you know, you're going to get more. We got more.
I mean, you're talking about the same people who in the midst of COVID are still trying to cut health care. I mean,
it's crazy.
It ain't really
it's
thing
crazy
right now.
So, yeah. People stay safe.
Speaking of all of that, remember, early voting is in Georgia. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead and lock down those 2 seats. It started today. And y'all got to December 31st to start the early voting before, you know, them lines get hopefully long. The same way y'all went to vote for your president, y'all need to vote for the people that support the president. So go on out there and get your votes in. All right? And that is all I have for the Toni Hot Tea topics. We have a guest in the building. So we're going to talk to him once we come back after this song. It is called Feel So Right by Johnny Blue.
We lit!
Baby, can you tell me what did I do for you to sex me right? And when you touch me, I slip into a trance from day to night.
bag. That was lit.
I bet.
That was lit.
Dude, before we get into our guests, you want to tell the people, do you have any comedy coming on?
Yeah. Shout out to Derek Nicholson. He has where he's working on a New Year's Eve show, and shout out to Roxy Resnick. She has a show this weekend, and I believe I'm going to do a little time there. And shout out to Mario Torre.
Where are these shows at though? Like, how can we come out and support you?
I haven't got the details of it yet.
Okay.
So but they follow me at Duke Desdunes, DukedesDunes, and you'll see the flyer, and you have my DM, and I can give you more details to everything. So just keep up with me, and we'll keep you in the loop.
All right, if y'all like to laugh, follow him if you're not following him already, and make sure y'all stay in them stories and on his page to know where to pop up at.
Yeah, sometimes you see Toni in there. You might see our engineer, when he's in town, and he's not doing big West Coast things, and pop up and come and rock out with us.
Hey man, real quick one though. You know what's funny? I was on YouTube. I'm always on YouTube, and I'm watching this skit of these comedians, right?
Okay.
And it was a skit. Dude and his homeboy was like on his last leg. He was dying or whatever on the side of the road or whatever. And the dude that was asking him, his last dying wish. He was like, you want to smoke a joint? And I'm looking and I'm like, man, these dudes is funny. Who was this dude? It was you. I said that's funny how just YouTube just randomly just be playing stuff or whatever. But it was a hilarious skit.
Oh yeah, you talking about the backwoods skit?
Yeah.
But shout out to comedian Brian Williams. You know what I'm saying? A friend of mine in the comedy game out here in Atlanta, and that's pretty funny. That's been running. A lot of people be like, bro, it's funny. Like they really think that's funny. It is though. I mean, when you just got shot and you're dying.
People, backwoods smokers really do be acting
right.
Like that.
They that tight pressed about it. So yeah, I mean, it was funny. You know what I'm saying? I enjoy making content with him. So we got some more stuff we're working on.
All right. Now let's talk about this guest we got here, Deontay Bolden. How are you?
Clap it up. Clap it up.
Book here, Purpose Pains. Yes. Show this out to our audience so they can see it. Purpose Pain. What made you write this book?
Well, just growing up for me was kind of different. I was raised in a single family household. My mom pretty much raised me, but I had a brother who had a disability. He had muscular dystrophy, and he passed in 2006. And I faced a lot of challenges growing up. So what I wanted to do, I wanted to write a book, because as African American men, sometimes we feel like we have to suppress our emotions, and instead of using it in a negative way, I wanted to put it in a book, that even though I had my own hardships and grew up and faced a lot of obstacles in my life, I still use my purpose, my pain to fulfill my purpose and push me towards my purpose. So it's just an inspirational, encouraging book, because a lot of us are going through a lot of things, and even this year, I feel like it was important to put this book out prior to COVID, and when I saw that, COVID was happening, because many people are going through a hard time right now, and they need some encouragement. So I just wanted to inspire people through my own personal experiences and encourage people to, even though you're going through something right now, you still can get to where you need to be. You just have to keep pushing.
Okay.
So let me ask you this. Is this your first book?
Yeah, this is my first book.
Okay. So what was that like, that breaking point where you went through something that's real, trying and testing in your life, where you was like, man, like I need to share this with someone? Or what, did it come in that form, or did somebody tap into you and say, hey man, like you have a testimony, you should share this with people?
I did.
How did you get to actually writing and constructing, putting a book together?
It came through people telling me, based on me telling them my story. Losing my brother was very difficult, because I went through a period of depression.
Okay.
And a lot of stuff I felt like I was holding in, and I was using it in negative ways. I had a lot of anger in me. And I really just wanted to take time to write. I started writing scripts because I'm a writer, filmmaker, playwright. But this came right around the time that I did my stage production last year, Looking for Love in All the Wrong Places. And I was like, really, I need to just find a way, an outlet to be able to share my own personal experiences. So that's what really drew me to write the book, because I was like, I need to go to those places, and it's a therapeutic experience because, you know, I didn't realize so many different things and so many different emotions that I went through just writing this book and reliving those moments. So.
Okay.
Was it a hard transition coming from being a screenwriter to writing just a regular novel?
Yeah, a lot of people ask me that, and I say, as a writer, I can hide behind characters because I can create characters and hide behind them because, you know, you see characters in my productions and you're like, you wouldn't know that it's some of my own personal experiences. But with this, I had to be vulnerable. It was almost like stripping naked and just, you know, standing in front of people because people know you can't hide behind a book, you know, especially a book like this, which is my introspective autobiography. So with this, I had to just lay it out there and people know that it's on my own personal experiences, you know, versus hiding behind characters. Because a lot of my characters, I kind of, you know, put a lot of me in, but this was just like, okay, you got to be out there. People are going to know. People are going to read it. And at first I was kind of embarrassed for people to read it because of some of the things that I share in here, but I realized that it's for someone, you know, someone needs to read it and someone's going to be inspired by the book, so.
Okay. So when you wrote this book, what was the hardest part? Like, what was the hardest moment in the book that you had to write through?
Just talking about my brother's death and that, and I don't want to give away too much of the book, but just really.
You can give us a synopsis, a little cliff note.
You know, I would say the hardest part was just being vulnerable and talking about growing up and being like, even though I had a big brother and he had muscular dystrophy, a lot of things I didn't really share. I always try to remain positive because, you know, I grew up being I was the little brother, but I was the big brother to my big brother because I was very protective of him. You know, he was in a wheelchair, he couldn't walk, he couldn't protect himself. So I went in a lot of that in the book, and, you know, I really don't feel like I dealt with my brother's death the way that I should have, and the way that people thought that I was supposed to. And I feel like it was me really going there and kind of having that moment where I can just grieve a little bit and go through that grieving experience. So I think that was hard for me. And just picking up those painful experiences. A lot of times when we go through things, we think we've healed from it, but we realize that when we go to that, and you write a book, let me tell you, when you write a book, you realize if you haven't healed from something, you know, you're going to get your healing experience and you're going to know it.
So do you feel it helped you fully heal, or are you still kind of like this was step one, but I still got a long way to go?
I think it's step one. I think I've healed, but I don't think that I've completely healed. But maybe a Purpose Pains 2 is gonna come, and I'm gonna get my whole healing experience. But I feel like with this, you know, it really helped me, and it helped me to see my life in a different perspective, and it really helped me to grow. When you're able to get to a level in your life where you can share your personal experiences and not worry about what other people say or judge you, I feel like that's a certain level of growth. And I feel like I've reached that, you know, and this has been a great experience to be able to put this book together.
So let me ask you, you say that you dealt with your brother's death. How old was he?
Well, my brother, he passed when I was 18. He was 22.
Okay. How long has it been since then?
He died in 2006, so it's been like,
about 15, 14 years?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. How did you cope with it? How did you, you know, I know it's 14 years and it's always hard to deal with, because I had a cousin that passed away, you know, at 25 in 2010 unexpectedly in a car accident.
Yeah.
But for me, I just try to grab a home life and just look at the quality of life I'm living and try to just, you know, if I feel like I'm not living my purpose, kind of get towards that, living with some passion and, you know, that type of thing. So how did you, you know, cope with that? How did you, you know, get over that whole grieving hump?
I think writing this book, I realized that I didn't, because when my brother passed, I was a senior in high school, and senior in high school, there's so much going on. You're preparing for college, you're getting ready for graduation, and it just happened like close time to me getting ready to graduate, you know, from high school. So I really don't feel like I did, because it was a lot of transitioning. It was a lot of, you know, preparing for college, getting ready to take your SATs, and it was just like, as soon as my brother passed, I had to get back into school. I had to prepare and go through this whole process. So I really felt like I didn't really get that time to really cope with it. But I felt like me being introduced to writing really helped me to cope with a lot of things, because I'm able to express myself. I didn't feel like I had an outlet. I didn't feel like I was holding a lot of things in, and I really didn't find that until I started writing scripts and finding my voice.
Right.
So the writing really helped me to really cope with a lot of things and know how to put my grieving process in a different way and in a different format. So.
Well, let me ask you this: why? Because I'm as a comedian, I'm getting into writing, the comedy and going and performing. But I'm branching off into trying to write for others and write outside of myself, and you know what I'm saying, write characters and those things. What's the power in writing and the magic in writing? Because I've heard people say that before. Once I started writing this book, or once I started to write this play and things of that nature, I was able to heal, or I was able to gain some clarity. What's the magic and the power in writing that brings you to one place to another?
I think writing can also take you to a place of imagination. It's almost like you can have that moment again with that person, that you never said something to, and
that's
you
dope.
Just
I like how you put
that realm. If I want to have that creative moment or that last conversation with my brother, in my mind and my imagination, I can go there through writing, and this is what I would say to him. I can relive that moment. So that's the power.
To add more color to it too, right?
And then you can I find myself having conversations with people that I wanted to say something to, because I pride myself on being a Christian, but being a Christian is hard sometimes because you can't pop off like you want to and say what you want to say. Yeah, but
you just gotta say, "God, hold my tongue" after that, or something like that.
The devil is a lie.
Let me ask you this question, right?
Up.
Let me ask you this question. The movie that 50 Cent did when he was the football player. You familiar with that movie?
Is it called When Things Fall Apart?
I think so. And then he lost a lot of weight. I think he maybe had caught cancer or something like that. And then his brother, did you see that movie?
I saw parts of it.
But when I watched it made me respect him on another level. Just an actor, just to physically go and put your body through that type of physical transition. You know what I mean? But the acting was pretty good. But the storyline was A1. His brother was just a regular guy. He was the jock. The girl he wanted, the girl really kind of liked him, but it was like, friend zone. But she would just gravitate to that jock aura. So 50 gets her, but he catches cancer or something like that, terminal type thing, and he's just falling off. She's still with him and still trying to support, and he's just like, listen, you need my brother. You know what I'm saying? And just that bond. But it was never a problem with them two. It's just that one was blessed with the school sense and the academics, and one was just the sports guy, athlete. And just listening to your story in that sense, just having that bond. When your brother was kind of like really, I guess, getting to a place where you kind of know did it kind of happen out of nowhere, or did you see it happening,
No,
as far as his perishing? Like, did you see that?
Yeah, that was a part of the grieving process. I was actually at work.
Okay.
My mom called me and she told me, that, my brother had went unconscious, and I was at work. I had actually worked. I was working at Target.
Okay.
And we went to the hospital. So I didn't have that last moment, with my brother while he was conscious.
Right.
Last time I saw my brother was, I went to work. I said goodbye, and that was pretty much the last time I seen him, like, alive. So that was a struggle for me as well. So I felt like it was no closure, for me. So
yeah,
that was kind of, it was heartbreaking. But, I know that everything happens for a reason. And what I went through, it made me stronger. And I know someone has the same story that I have, or, have faced something worse. So,
yeah. Well, no, that's awesome, man. And, so I wish you definitely strength, because it's just tough. It's just like sometimes I just lost a good friend. 15-year friendship. Still friends. It ain't like, I didn't lose. I just gained the angels in a sense. But, even with that, I think me and Toni was talking about that. It's like, you meet people and you're just a friend of maybe 5 years or a coworker. And my mother just lost a friend of 9 years, but they were real tight. And, you meet somebody and y'all just jam.
Right.
And, meeting someone and then losing that person, but then meeting the people around them and the people that grew up with them, and then the people that went to church with them and went to college with them, and all these different levels of friendship. You almost feel like, damn, like, do I even have a right to mourn, because his mother, then his sisters, and then ex-football players that he played college, collegiate football with, and so on and so forth. You know what I'm saying? It's like, where do I fit in that space?
Right.
Did you ever think like that?
Yeah,
with your brother, like, do I even have a right? I have my mother, my auntie, and
you want to be strong for everybody, and you want to hold everyone together. That was the thing, and of course, when someone passes, a lot of drama. My mom and dad, they didn't have the best relationship, so it was just a lot to deal with.
Okay.
Trying to make sure mom is okay. I think I've always prided myself on, taking care of mom and making sure she's good, and that's something that we, as men and as people, period, we always want to look out for our parents and look out for everybody else and who's looking out for me and who can I vent to.
Now, mom and dad were still together at the time? But,
No, my mom and dad, they divorced when I was 4.
Okay.
Yeah,
I got you.
Yeah.
So, when you sat down to write this book, when you came up with the idea, you know what, I'm going to sit down and write my story. What made you choose the title Purpose Pain?
Well, Purpose Pains came first before the story even came. I don't know, it just popped out of nowhere when I thought about my life and thought about where I am in my life and the things that I've accomplished. You know, for some reason, Purpose Pains came. And then the story kind of came, you know, along with it, and me being open and vulnerable, talking about my own personal experiences. When I originally wrote Purpose Pains, I wasn't going to make it so much about me and my personal experience. I was just going to be giving people advice. But I was like, I can't write a story about a book about pain and painful experiences without talking about my own, because the first thing people are going to be like, well, how can you tell me to get over this and that if you ain't been through nothing and you ain't sharing your own personal experiences? So I knew I had to be transparent in the book. So that's pretty much how it came. You know, the title came first, and with most of my writing, the title always comes first for some reason.
So I know in a lot of industry, whether it's film, whether it's book, whether it's acting, comedy, you always have the people that are closest to you that kind of give you that side eye, like, oh, here he go again, trying to do something. So did you ever have anybody come in and like, okay, you about to write a book now? Like, okay, first you're a filmer, now you about to write a book. Like, did you have any of those type of experience, or was everybody really supportive of your journey and what you're gonna do?
I mean, no shade towards people in my family, but then there's not many people in my family that has accomplished much, so there's not people that can say about anything that I'm doing. But no, I mean, I think more people were inspired.
Shade, but we're gonna
It do. It sounds like people probably spoke
no
against
shade,
it, but
ain't nobody doing that,
he's
so
evolved to a great man,
it's
and he's
above
like,
me now.
I'm not going to. Yes, I'm above it now.
And,
so I'm gonna let that be.
I love people in my family, but you know, you come from a family where it's like some people just got to get it together. We all have to be.
And where you from again? I'm sorry.
I'm actually from, I was born in Washington, D.C. I was raised in Virginia. I lived in California for about 5 years before moving here. So, but to answer your question, no, I think more people were inspired by the journey because, you know, I'm the type of person that I want to get my hands in different things and different aspects, because I feel like that's what makes a leader, entrepreneur, a successful person. And, you know, if you got a story to tell, you want to do something, I feel like you should do it. And I think more people were inspired by, you know, the journey of me writing the book. I mean, you have your naysayers, but, you know, you brush them off and keep moving.
Okay.
So let me ask you this. Who was one of your biggest supporters along the way when you said, you know, I'm about to go off and be this entrepreneur? You know, who was like one of the number one, or a few people that was like the, you know, big cheerleaders?
The top two.
Mom is definitely supportive. Anything I do, mom is like always there to support.
Right.
I would say, you know, my grandmother.
Mothers are awesome.
Yeah, my mom and my grandmother.
I hope my mom's supporting right now. Let me check these things. Is she in here? She ain't in here.
It's a quote that's on Facebook that says, if nobody else is in the audience or supporting, your mom is the first one there, you know, in the front row.
That's why we buy moms the big house.
Yeah, my mom is definitely, she goes out of her way to support, you know, a lot of things that I do. I had a play in South Carolina, and she drove all the way to South Carolina. She done seen this play about 4 times already, but she still drove all the way to South Carolina just to make sure I had somebody in the audience.
See it like it's the first time seeing it, right? That's mom.
But I mean, that's what mothers, man. They just let's just give a love and respect to mothers, because dads are awesome too, you know. So I won't knock dads, but moms just have that cohesiveness. It's nurturing, it's loving. You know what I mean? It's almost unconditional, like you know, it's almost unconditional. I saw a movie with 2 brothers, and they were the Cray twins, and they were like psychopaths. They were killers in London. They was like mob guys, and the mother knew everything that they were doing, and one was a psychopath, like for real. He had to take prescriptions and keep himself together, and mom just was just, you know, anybody that said anything against him, he was like, listen, that's my baby, leave him alone. You know what I'm saying?
I call my mom the mama bear, because she like, you know, you can say what you want, but don't talk about my baby.
Yeah.
And she'll go off on you, but she's very supportive, and she's just always there to, you know, be my ride or die, and she's my close friend, and she'll tell me if it's good or not, you know, and, you know, she's just very supportive. So I truly love and adore my mom.
So in this business, with writing and things like that, do you have people you look up to as far as authors, or writers, producers, directors, things of that nature? Do you have people that you look up to say, hey, I want to get, in that space, or, people that you even interact with that help you groom yourself in being able to create?
Well, I have a trusting writers circle that when I write something, well, shout out to Naisha Davis. She helped to publish this book, and she was a great editor, and she helped me to get on the path of that. But as far as, I guess, entertainment, as far as writers, I'm inspired by Tyler Perry and his journey in building his own, empire.
I think everybody's inspired by Tyler Perry's story.
Yeah, Tyler Perry is just awesome, man, and what he's doing is like, some people, if you knock him, I look at you side eye. Like, if you knock Tyler Perry or LeBron or Ice Cube, maybe with the Ice Cube and Trump thing, we might knock him a little bit on that. But still, he's still just trying to find a solution as best way he can. I mean, and then just the thing I say, even with the whole Trump thing, not to really kind of derail, it was a time when everybody said Trump, they wanted to be Trump. When Trump's name wasn't as bad as it is now. You know what I'm saying?
When he had his show out and everybody was trying to be on the show.
You're fired.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
everybody was trying to be an apprentice.
Even rappers in the 90s, like everybody was like, quote, a Trump something. I'm Trump this or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So, it's he's not tactful or tasteful in any kind of way.
Nor has he ever been.
But it's just like, what you thought you was going to get. I'm shocked that people are shocked. You know what I'm saying? Just ride the fucking wave out. It's like when your mama date the boyfriend that he ain't. She's like, man, that's it. I can't wait till he's done with this guy.
I say the same thing.
Just ride the wave out. It'll get greater later.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
It'll get greater later.
That's you like me. I'm just not shocked. When people are like, bro, you heard what Trump said? I'm like, bro, why you bring it down? You thought he would not say something like that?
I find it entertaining.
It's very entertaining. Listen, anytime somebody would have the look that he has a lot. If you think about it, if you break him down, he's really like a rapper. He has an elaborate hairstyle. He has a foreign chick. You know what I'm saying? He all about money in the business, the bottom line. Sounds like a rapper. Mm-hmm. He don't give a shit. He gonna say what he want. You don't care how you take it. You know what I mean? It sounds like a fucking rapper.
He gonna come out with an album.
Listen, anybody who says, I'm not going to just cut my hair off or get hair plugs, right? I'm going to get scalp reduction. Like, I'm going to take my scalp and pull it down and minimize the space between my eyebrows and where my hair is at, just so my hair can lay right. His hair really back here. He reduced his scalp. You can't, that's our president. And his wife, you can find her naked. You can see this first leg. Come on, this is like a fucking circus. Just enjoy the ride. He's about to be out in a minute. Just enjoy the ride. Was it January 21st? That's my birthday anyway.
January 21st. We're all counting down.
That's my birthday. Shit. So, but yeah, man. I mean, I ain't surprised by Trump and all that. It's just crazy. But anyway, yeah, man. Purpose is a big word. What does purpose mean to you?
Purpose just means to me, what you're destined to be, your goals, your dreams, your aspirations, what you're placed here on earth to do. I feel like we all have a call and we all have been placed on this earth to do something. Just like you say you're a comedian,
Mm-hmm.
your purpose is to make people laugh,
right.
in the midst of their pain, and I read some powerful things about comics and how they, use their painful experiences to, get out there and make people laugh. So it's just whatever you're calling to do, whatever you're destined to do.
Do you like comedy? Do you like comedic acting, the comedy element in movies? Do you like stand up?
I find myself in most of the roles that I play, because I'm an actor as well. Most of the roles I play are kind of comedic roles. I don't consider myself a comedian because I can't. One thing I say, I tilt my hat off to any comedian that can get in front of millions of people and try to make them laugh. Because that's just
it's tough.
It's a gift.
Yeah, it's tough.
It's one of the most difficult things that I can ever see.
I actually had a debate with someone and they was saying that it was like, nah, because public speaking or motivational speaking. I say, listen, bro, motivational speaking is one thing, and I get it. You know what I'm saying? I did a little bit of it. Shout out to Toastmasters. I did a little bit of it. It's cool. But when it's comedy, it's a different rhythm. It's just different because when you're motivational speaking, you're not expecting really a response from the audience. You just want them to listen.
Yeah, you say what you say.
You might hear a little gasping like, you know what I mean?
Or some cheers if they.
You know what I mean? Yeah. But comedy, you gotta laugh. Like, I come in here to say this to make you move, to resonate in your spirit. take you to a childlike place, take you to how your mama used to do this, and the culture and how we grew up. Like, it's all of that. You know what I'm saying? And it's reflective.
And it depends on your audience. I mean, how they're feeling that night.
Right. Do you have the like sometimes you can have the content for the wrong audience. It's not that it's not funny. It's just you're telling the jokes to people that it don't resonate with them. It just, like hood jokes. You got, you might could tell them to hood people. And some other people may not be hood and may can open themselves to that. But they reaching just to appreciate the humor in it. So, if you're in a corporate space, you can't tell raunchy jokes. You can tell little back office, warehouse jokes, but you can't be corporate telling raunchy, crazy. They gotta be very, they like politics, like that's around the watering hole when people getting their coffee at the Keurig. Right. You know what I'm saying? Right. You gotta tell those jokes. So
Say it again, the what?
The Keurig. That's correct, right? That's the little
Keurig.
Why y'all gotta do me that? You gonna let them do me that? What you say? What is it? You say it's make sure I ain't by myself.
It's Keurig.
See that? Y'all gonna leave me hanging.
Keurig. You put a K on it when it's clear.
Engineer, come on, tell me what is it? What's the coffee machine thing?
I thought it was Keurig.
That's what we say.
Yeah,
Keurig. He's saying Keurig.
I mean, everybody that's like tomato.
So I just wanted him to say it again because when
potato.
When people say something differently, I like to have them say it again because like I can appreciate like okay, like I just like to hear
She
it.
like to slight shade you. You know what I'm saying? Is what she do.
I just like to hear it again.
But I'm with you on that because when people say salmon, I be like, it's salmon. Salmon is someone's name. Salmon is the fish.
It's like when people say Kroger's.
Yes, they put the S on Kroger's. I'm one of those people. I'm people's.
My mom,
I put the
or
S.
Or when people call Publix, public.
Yeah.
Like it's an X. It's not a C. It's not a public establishment. It's Publix.
Yeah.
Like so. I mean, I just.
Look, hey, people. What's the famous one? What's the famous one that we conversate?
Converse versus
conversate. That's not even a word. People.
Oh, I'm just.
So when people say,
look, she's like, what? I use that often.
But when people say, you know what? When I like say things and people say, that's not a word. I say it can't be a word. It has to be a word because I just said it. So you can't say things that aren't words. It's clearly not a sound, so it's a word.
Right.
And words are added to the dictionary every day.
Yeah.
I'm gonna use that now.
Yeah. That's real though. Like bling. Bling became a word. Right. Once you find a word that people say and they can give a definition, descriptive to back the word and
it's
give it
either
meaning.
A word or
now it becomes trend, and then the culture accepts this on societal level. You got to put it in the Webster.
Nope.
You know.
As long as you have a definition, you can submit it. It's a word because I just said
But people don't even use bling no more. If you use bling,
yeah, I haven't heard.
Only Arab or the jewelers use bling. Hey, buddy, you want the bling? No, sir.
That's how they say it.
Yeah, it's always hey, buddy. Like nigga.
Hey, buddy.
You want the bling? You're like, whoa, shit.
So my question to you is, with making a title, Purpose Pain, do you feel like you found your purpose?
I feel like I have found my purpose, and that's the bright side of Purpose Pains. I found what I love to do. I found my niche. I feel like I found what I was created here to do, and that's the right to be creative, to inspire people through my creativity. So I definitely feel like I found my purpose, and I'm just beginning. So.
So outside of this book and screenwriting, what other things is on your resume?
Well, I'm working on my own award show. It's going to be called the Bolden Awards, and
I like the way it sounds.
Yeah, the Bolden Awards.
What are the different categories?
Well, we're going to have it's going to be the tagline of it is when boldness meets greatness. Because my last name is Bolden, so
boldness meets greatness.
Yes, so people who are making inspirational and bold moves in the entertainment industry, and I feel like a lot of times with these award shows, it's a lot of favoritism and clicks, and if I know you, I can award you.
Right.
But I want the Bolden Awards to pride ourselves on honoring people who really are.
Oh, you're gonna have a panel? You're gonna have a panel?
I'm working on it. I'm actually talking to a friend of mine. She has her own award show in Los Angeles, and I was recently awarded to her award show as Accomplished Author of the Year 2020. Pashonda, shout out to her. She has the Peach Theater Awards. She used to live here in Charlotte, but I'm talking to her. So I'm wondering. I'm trying to figure out if I want to honor people, do nominations. It's still in its work.
Okay.
It's gonna launch in the end of 2021, 2022, but we're gonna start the process.
That's awesome, and it's crazy because you're looking at the best host for such events.
Yeah, so we have the Prevailing Podcast Award, where we're going to be nominating, and TV Show Award, nominating people who are just inspiring people through their creativity and the podcast. We have the Manifestation Award, which will be people who, we should be looking out for. They're making major moves and upcoming in the industry. We have the Trinity Award, nominating the triple talent people. If you're an actor, a model, or a director, if you're a host, a model, or you might.
Oh, we about to plug in several different ones.
We winning it all.
Yeah, we come in and win it, big.
Coming in like the
we gonna be like the Lakers or the Celtics of these awards.
Bold denominations.
Yes,
go
I'm putting it on my resume. I'm putting the top. That's before my name.
Yeah.
On my resume.
Yeah, and I'm excited about it because I'm the type of person, if I see something that needs to change, I'm the one that wants to make the change. I don't sit and wait for the change, and I've noticed a lot of things since I've been here in Atlanta, and I'm like.
And how long have you been here?
I've been here for 2 years, so it'll be 3 years next year.
Okay.
So I'm working on that. I'm doing some acting, working on some things. Writing, I have my second book. I'm going to be writing a children's book called Differently Abled. So it's about 4 disabled children, and it's in honor of my brother. They want to be different because they've been teased all their lives for being disabled, and instead of for Christmas they don't want presents and gifts, they just want to be normal. So they write a letter to Santa, go to the North Pole, and Santa gives them some magic powers to become normal, and they see life on the other side, and they realize that normal is not necessarily the right life for them, and that they were created for a reason, and they are who they are because they are
they are their own normal.
Because they are who they are. So yeah, that's coming, and what else? Just more writing. I'm actually shooting my first short film next year. It's called The Skin I'm In. So that'll be coming 2021. We'll start that in March.
Oh, I got a lot of roles to apply for y'all. Y'all see me on the screen already.
Now, what would that one be about?
The Skin I'm In is basically because over this year we've seen a lot of racism. I really wanted to write a story about a biracial girl who really struggled growing up being biracial. She was teased. She had to choose between if she's more black, more white, and now she's older and she has a daughter, and she starts to put a lot of those ideas in her daughter's head. Don't talk to the dark-skinned girls, because that was my experience. Hang out with the more white girls. But she realizes at the end that her daughter experiences racism differently than she does, and at the end of the day, she realizes that love comes from loving yourself within. It doesn't matter what your skin color is. You have to learn how to embrace your own beauty. So, and she learns that throughout the story, and she realized that she was doing more harm to her daughter than she was helping her. So that's coming in 2021, and I'm excited. So it's just staying busy.
So I was on Clubhouse. I'm a definite Clubhouse crackhead, y'all. So I'm probably gonna talk about it all show, and y'all gonna get over it or get on it. I don't know. But so I was in a room with Bow Wow, aka Shad Moss, and he was bringing to the forefront what he felt BET was missing. And I'm asking you this as a screenwriter, author. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is a platform you probably would want your films to be seen on, right? Mm. So he was really saying, one, he wanted to bring back 106 in Park and bring that kind of culture back into play. But more importantly, he wanted to know what could BET do to make themselves relevant again. So what would your suggestion be? If you could talk to BET, you sitting in the room with the corporate heads, and you like, look, BET, I would love to see this on your platform. What would it be?
More diverse writers possibly, but I really just feel like BET is relevant just being who they are. I don't see anything. I think the 106 in Park is great, but I think we try so hard to figure out, okay, well, what do I have to do to remain relevant? But sometimes just being unique and just being who you are is enough for people, I don't think BET has any explaining to do. Many people, I think, to be honest, some of the movies on there seems very low budget, so we might can get some better movies, better writers, and creativity, because some things on BET, I'm like, come on, BET, we could do better than that. Some of these Christmas movies I haven't seen on there, yeah. But I just feel like sometimes, other than that, I just feel like that's what BET is, it's black entertainment, and I feel like, just let it be what it is, and better writers, better movies. I love 106 in Park. I don't know if I want to see 106 in Park come back, though. because I like
it needs a definite revamp, and it doesn't really have to even be labeled 106 and Park. You know what I'm saying? But just like I also feel like, because I grew up on 106 and Park a little bit, I was a teenager and out the house and had pretty much in my own place. I really wasn't caring, but I knew about it. But Rap City, yes, Rap City is something that remember had that they used to come out, I think, on Sundays, the Island Vibes. So like if I can place different people, I would take what's old boy that does the battle rapping on Wild 'N Out, the little short guy. He can rap. Conceited. I would take Conceited and make him the host of Rap City. I would take a DC Young Fly and one of them Wild 'N Out girls, because they already got chemistry.
They already got a job.
Well, I'm just saying, just for imagery, just to understand the character. You see those characters, like, because Tigger used to rap. He wasn't no crazy rapper, but he could sit up there and rap and keep the flow going with other people. He can rap. You know what I'm saying? So just the character, that type of person. There's a lot of people that can rap, that do comedy, that could be funny. You see what I'm saying? So being able to be, informative, but that was an era where lyrics was something. Nobody really wants to, as much as we enjoy the music and throw our hands in the air and bump it loud, you don't really want to see a rapper that can't rap get in the booth.
Right.
Right.
You don't want to see him swag rap. You can hear it in production when it's bumping in the club, but you don't want to see him not really rap. When you get in the studio, the whole element of the Rap City was you get in the booth to rap. Like, even rappers like, bro, we going up to Rap City, into the basement. Like, that's Rap City. So I think if you bring that back, you'll start a whole new culture, with that. Then you're talking about Comic View. Outside of Def Jam, which was raw, early 90s, mid to late 90s, 2000, Comic View was it. You see what I'm saying? And right now, there's no big outlet for stand-up comedy. Wild 'N Out wasn't really, the traditional stand-up comedy outlet. You know what I'm saying? And had its element that was definitely... Yeah, it had its element, because it combined a lot of different shit. It combined, it had no sketch comedy to it, but it combined a lot of the new age stuff, which is cool. It's fresh, it's trendy, but I think that traditional element is needed. You know what I'm saying? So a Comic View, like you said, better quality writers, better quality movie production.
Yeah. I really get on that, because I feel like, to me, as Black creators, sometimes we're not taken seriously, because it's almost like we just accept anything because we're Black. Oh, that's just one of my Black, people. I'm gonna support this movie, but it's like we have to have better quality, and we have to set the standards as well. When I create something, I want it to be the best, and if I don't want to watch it or look at it, then I don't expect y'all to want to watch it and look at it. So I think that's very, very important, because some of the movies I'm like, okay, this could be much better, better acting, everything. So, so that's definitely, but I agree with you. I do miss the Comic Views, the Rap City. I feel like if we can do it in a different element. Then,
man, just imagine if you had Comic View that was based in Atlanta. You feel me?
That would be good.
If you look at all the production, all the, the love. If you did all the Love and Hip House and all that, they got that Georgia piece at the end when it's going off, doing the credits and shit. If that was based in Atlanta, you know what I'm saying? Atlanta is I think it was 3 clubs on a national level that was managed by black managers, comedy clubs. L.A. had one, I believe. Atlanta had 2. Uptown Atlanta Comedy Theater that was managed by black, it still is. So that's a lot. That's big. And Comic View was a black base. It was on BET, Black Entertainment Television. So to bring that full circle, and Atlanta right now is wide open in the sense of entertainment and comedy and things of that nature. A lot of people are shut down. So they still prevailing, you know what I'm saying, through this harsh time. And I just think that, like a Rap City, a 106 and Park, a Comic View, if you could bring them 3 stables back, you could revise BET.
And I think another one would be, because it set the standards for Black reality television, I thought that College Hill was awesome.
It was dope.
You know what? They did mention that in the group. They want College Hill to come back.
It was dope.
That was good, because I feel like it really set the standards for BET, and we were seeing Black people in a different light, even though it started becoming like a little ratchet, but
that's life. That's college life. It's a part of college life.
Yes, and that's why I was saying it's a part of college life. But I think it would be awesome to see that.
But you know what? I was thinking, I'm about to throw you a Jew. I was thinking counties, because it's counties out here, right? The counties, and everybody want to rep Gwinnett County. Then if you from Clayco, and who's popping in Clayco? If it's an artist, if it's a model, it's a whatever, and it's counties. It's just taking people from different counties. It might be an up and coming basketball player, student athlete type kid. You know what I'm saying? I think Brookwood, not Brookwood. Is it Brookwood? It's like I got a number 2 quarterback on the nation. You see what I'm saying? So you get a kid like that, if they would, sign up for something like that, you can highlight him. You know how many people out here popping? This up and coming comedian that's like right there. You know what I mean? This little artist that's like right there. And you taking all the people from different counties. That's a whole show right there, just showing people that's popping in the city in Atlanta and ins and outs. And a lot of people thrive off Atlanta. South Carolina, Alabama, parts of Florida, Louisiana. A lot of people thrive off Atlanta.
That's true. All right, so we're gonna take a little break. He's thinking about that.
I want my container to throw. Just give me 10%.
You need to borrow my pen to write something down. Right
there you go.
I got it in my memory.
See that?
Okay, well, we're going to play the next song. Thank y'all. Hope y'all are liking what we're talking about. I think it's a really good conversation, a good needed conversation. Shout out to Atlanta's Next 100, the station that we are on. So we're going to play the next song. It is called Heart Rap by Henny with Vibe House. Sorry, y'all.
Get it together over there. We lit!
I can't keep doing this with you, bro. You always entertaining these always in faces and always faking for your friends, but in private it's a whole nother story. You steady liking these pictures on Instagram and posting them, but you don't ever post me, and I'm supposed to be your girl. How does that even work? You're draining me. You're toxic. This is toxic. You do nothing for me, and I sit here and love you to the death of me, and you sit here and take all this for granted. I'm about to leave, bro. I'm not even joking with you no more. This is draining. I can't keep doing this. You're too childish. You need to grow up or get out of my life. I'm not your friend.
You got to be kidding me right now. This is crazy here.
So help me understand what's going on. I tried to love you, but you left me alone. For what? I tried to give you the world and all the love I had, but I guess that wasn't enough. Oh shit, my bad. Not to come off crazy, but I'm pissed as hell. Because I love you for real. Couldn't you tell I tried to vibe with you, ride or die for you? Only if you could do what I do, but it's room for you. I swear, you got me crazy, baby. I don't know how you did it. Acted like you loved me till I turned into a lunatic. One thing, really another. Cause a counterfeit. Say you wanted something real, but God, you're such a hypocrite. Even tried to recommit, but I'm convinced that you against the common sense of all of this. So in my defense, I just back it up, call it a day. Dust my hands, cause at this point I done did all I can. Cause my heart wants you, but my brain's real tired of you. Real tired of you. Said my heart wants you, but my brain's real tired of you. Real tired of you. Said my heart wants you, but my brain's real tired of you. Real tired of you. Said my heart wants you, but my brain's real tired of you. Real tired of you.
Oh yeah, I like that right there.
Right. Shout out to my Clubhouse family because they have been sending in some music, y'all. So pretty much everything that I've played tonight has come from my Clubhouse family except for the first song. So
Shout out to Clubhouse.
If y'all not on Clubhouse.
And speak of it, tell us, give us a little quick little rundown of what Clubhouse is and how it has helped you. How long have you been on it so far? So it's your second week, right?
Right. I started on December 4th.
Okay.
So that's my start date for Clubhouse.
Okay.
And if y'all don't know about Clubhouse, it is an iPhone app.
Exclusive iPhone app.
Right. It is an iPhone app. And I'm not getting paid by Clubhouse. I just really like it that much. So I'm just out here shouting it out. But it's a Clubhouse app. And when I tell you, there are some great rooms. And when I say rooms, it's just kind of like a conference. So if you think about a Zoom meets LinkedIn, that's the kind of vibe Clubhouse gives me. And you can really get in. I've had the opportunity to talk to some top entertainers, like people that you know you can't just walk up to and be like, hey, how you doing, let me ask you. Like I have had some top people. I got a chance to talk to the likes of like Emmanuel Lewis. Like how often can you just walk up to him and have a conversation with him and it just be okay? Like he's out and about. Like he is in Clubhouse and he is really dropping some jewels from his time in the industry. You know, he's been 40 years in. So to have someone like an Emmanuel Lewis that just tell you about, you know, his journey and all the people he's met in the industry and some things that could help you along, and you know what I'm saying, and it's really not a very formal atmosphere. It's something you can kind of pop in. You got casting directors on there. You've got like I said, like Bow Wow was on there, 21 Savage, and they're dropping music industry stuff. And then you got some people that are really on there connecting in the sense of like they may be looking for artists. They may be looking for songwriters. They may be looking for script writers or things like that. And those people are really tapping in on Clubhouse because it's so exclusive, where you can intimately send them your stuff. As soon as you say you're from Clubhouse, it almost slightly moves you to the front of the line ahead of the hundreds of others that have to be in their DMs and Messenger and stuff like that. Because that Clubhouse tag, for some reason, is really helping a lot of people. I've networked with other radio hosts, people across the globe that of course I wouldn't have met, because if I don't go outside of Atlanta or go to their station, I may not have seen them, but they're in Clubhouse. So I'm able to talk and network and get some jewels from some other radio hosts to be able to advance this platform and my own. I had a lady just look at my social media to teach me how to get more followers and build my platform as an influencer. And it's just, and there's other comedians on there, you know, dropping jewels to the younger comedians. And talking about the industry and the ways to go. And some people are really booking shows, you know what I'm saying, just jumping in the comedian rooms, and you know what I'm saying, they're following on the social media. They're saying, oh, you kind of cool, you kind of funny, okay, yo, I got something going on here, like, you know what I'm saying, come jump on that. So it's just a lot going on. Now, don't get me wrong, with all great things come a little ratchet. So there's definitely some ratchet sides. So I don't want y'all to go on Clubhouse or download the app and be like, oh, it's all supposed to be super professional. It is not all that. There are definitely
it's one of those things is what you make it.
Right. There are definitely the big topic is the moan room. And in the moan room, I guess there's like a competition of women that moan against each other, and the guys that moderate that room, they pay them, I think, like $150 to $200. That's crazy. For the best moan.
That's
you know what
crazy.
I'm saying? There's the shoot your shot room.
That's
where,
crazy.
That's,
you know what I'm saying?
People
like,
come up
man,
to and
crazy.
they see the girls in the audience or the guys in the audience, and they pull them up to what is called the stage. And the stage is where you can speak. You can either speak or you can just watch. And if they bring you up to the stage to speak, you know what I'm saying, you're able to look down in the audience and pull somebody up and shoot your shot. And if y'all connect, then hey, you know, now you got a dating thing. And then there's culture rooms, there's actors meetup rooms, and I mean, there's just a lot to do. And it's based on who you're following. Like, you know, on social media and Instagram, you know what I'm saying, you want to follow the least amount of people and you want the most amount of people to follow you. Well, on this platform, you actually want to follow more people because it opens up the different type of rooms that they're in. So if you're looking for screenwriters, you can type in screenwriters and everybody's a screenwriter. You can follow all of them, and that'll open up screenwriting rooms that they're jumping in, because it'll tag you as soon as they go into something. If you're a comedian, you can follow all the comedians. And or if you're business or whatever, I follow a lot of random people, but just to kind of broaden my scope on it. But and I also host my own room called Clubhouse Crackheads, because I've learned that it's super addictive. You know what I'm saying? There's people that I've learned that are falling asleep in rooms. Like, you're on the room, you get in at 9 in the morning and you still there to 2, 3, 4 the next morning, because you're learning so much. It's information overload. So if you don't have it, I suggest you download it, and maybe a friend on the app that's already on the app may let you in. So if you don't have it and you have an iPhone, I suggest you get it. And no, it is not on Android. There is a Clubhouse on Android, but it's not this Clubhouse, so don't be bamboozled, okay? But eventually, according to the townhouse that they have with the creators, it'll open up to Android at some point, just not right now. So, you know what I'm saying? Definitely use it if you can.
So, there you go. So, Clubhouse owe you a little check.
Right.
She talked me into going.
Yeah. So
go ahead. You about to download it now. I see.
Yeah.
Go
yeah.
ahead.
So you have an iPhone?
Yeah, I have an
So you've been hearing about Clubhouse?
I have, but because I have seen a lot of people on social media be like, here's my Clubhouse, follow me on here or get on here or whatever.
Right.
And I was like, what is that? And it's always something new.
Right,
so
right.
I'm always waiting to see what other people are saying
Right.
about something before I jump in. So yeah, I'm gonna check it out. She talked me into it.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I don't have an iPhone, so I won't be getting on it at this point. But I have been thinking about getting an iPhone. So this might convince me to go ahead and pull the trigger on getting an iPhone. Yeah, I might do it for my birthday in January. So I don't know.
Come on over.
Right,
Yeah.
just come
But I mean,
on
but you know what? For me,
over.
I'm doing it because a lot of people that I create with, they have them. And I've been hearing that people are shooting, short movies and
Because
doing.
you got the iMovie.
Yeah, they have the iMovie, and an iPhone just has that superior camera quality and things like that. So and then being able to AirDrop, that AirDrop feature, the FaceTime feature, those things like that. You just got to give it up to them, and just being able to have that. It's like back in the days when you had the Nextel chirp. Everybody had to have the chirp. If you ain't had the chirp,
sidekick, like people.
you know what I'm saying? Like it's like, yo, what's your chirp? Like we don't even call you. Don't even ask your name. Just give me your chirp number. I'm gonna hit you. Like so if you ain't have that, so I feel like that. Like and I had a chirp, so I was that cool. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I feel like I got to get cool. Like I just feel like I'm at a point where I'm, I got the phone that says my hairline receding. You know what I'm saying? Like iPhone is like I'm still in the game. It's like having Jordans. You know what I'm saying? But if you got I don't care what Android. It could be the best. It could be the S7 Plus Max. It could be the fucking Note, whatever. And I just saw the new iPhone commercial, the 12.
I ain't that balling yet. I'm not ready for it.
I might cross, but it's like then I got all my Samsung stuff in here, and it's like I really, really, it's the transition.
But you can put your Google stuff on the iPhone.
I can. Wait a minute. You got an iPhone too?
I talked her into it.
And that's the crazy part. I'm talking about everybody around. My daughter has an iPhone. My mother has an iPhone. We get in group chats. They clown me because they call me a green bubble.
Yeah.
I'm the green bubble.
You the green.
Right?
Yeah.
Everybody else is what color?
Well, like if you're in the group, everybody else is just green with you. Like you ruin the group. Like everybody can't even see the blue.
Oh. See, I don't want to be that person that much anymore.
You ruin the
I'm
blue
tired of
group.
rebelling. You know what I'm saying? I might have to get down with the program.
It's worth it. I find the iPhone is very convenient. So.
Yeah.
It is.
And
then, like,
you sync it with all of your other devices and things like that? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely like I have my iPad and I don't have to okay, if I need to pull up a picture on my iPad, I don't have to let me send it to myself right quick. It's
Right.
already on my iPad.
Well, I knew just growing up, dealing with people who do music and stuff like that and people who are creative, the Mac was always the better, computer than PC.
They asked how old are you?
I'm 36. I'll be 37 in January.
He's 36.
Well, yeah, hold on. Wait. Y'all not asking me that based off of the fact that I got an Android, dude.
Yes.
You know what? We got an elder in here, so I'm not going to get colorful with my words. Okay? But I want you to pick the finger that don't have a ring on it, okay? The middle one, okay? Use that. Sit and spin. You okay? Don't handle me any kind of way. Don't just talk to me any kind of. No, I don't want to look at them. I don't look at your comments. Hell no. Don't just treat me any kind of way. Let me read this. What did it say?
You younger than him and you ain't got no iPhone?
You gonna talk to me like that, bro? Man, don't talk to me like that, man. Your mama raised you better than. Where your mama at, cuz? I gotta talk to your parents.
Oh my God.
Must have been a latchkey kid just getting all rebellious.
That is hilarious. That is hilarious.
But yeah, I need one. So y'all could take a GoFundMe to get me an iPhone. You know what I'm saying? I'll take donations.
Donations. So everybody, if y'all are watching tonight, we are taking donations for Duke to get an iPhone. He has I guess a decent phone in the Android.
Wait, it's a Note. It's a Note 11 Plus.
That's why I said a decent in the.
It got a stylus.
I had one of those.
Nigga. You do?
Back in 2010.
Look, Mom's like,
he said 2010.
2010, 2011. Before I came over to the iPhone.
You gonna just say that like that? You could have said that when we went on break and whispered that to me, cuz. God damn, right? You making me feel worse than
I don't
everything.
even have the top grade iPhone. I have an iPhone 7, but
what iPhone do you have, bro?
I think I got the iPhone 11.
It still gets me in access to where I need to be. You ain't got to be.
Okay, so let me say, if I get me what's the lowest iPhone where y'all still clowning me, even though I got an iPhone?
6.
Yeah, 6.
If you had a 6.
Y'all are crucial. Y'all don't care.
They're pretty reasonable though.
Are they?
Yeah.
So I could just trade this in with my phone provider. Just.
Yeah, I don't know how the only thing about because my mom faced it. If you try to transfer like your info,
They picking at your stylist.
Oh, that's how y'all gonna do? Y'all ain't got no stylist, okay? Like you said, when you transfer the information over.
Sometimes when they like try to transfer your info from that phone to the iPhone, you might face problems. Some stuff might not transfer over, but most of it probably will.
His calm demeanor just makes me feel comfortable with it, but I can see through that he don't really care anything about these anymore.
Comedian Duke Desdunes needs an iPhone. Let's at least get him a 7.
Who got an iPhone at least 7, 8 or something like that? They want to donate. I'm taking iPhone so I can get on the Clubhouse app. Take care of your boy, okay?
If y'all got an old iPhone that y'all want to donate to him, so he can at least use it on the Wi-Fi.
See, you know how we do it.
Christmas present.
You know how we do it. If I got to be in motion, I call you back.
Call him on his Android.
Yes. You know, they call me on my Android, right? Because I still, and Duke, my man. Matter of fact, the guy that I did the skit with, Brian, because he has an iPhone. He always clown me all the time. And I have 2 Chainz playing as my ringer, right? He said, "Bro, you still got ringtones?" Like, I'm like, why? He's like, "Bro, we don't do nobody do ringtones no more."
But the thing about iPhone is that it all rings the same. So when your iPhone ring, everybody
picking up. And I really hate that ring. Like, I'm like, do y'all not have another ring? Is that the default ring? Like, is that the only ring? Do you have to download more rings? Because I hate the ring.
You can. I mean.
So why do y'all just keep that ring?
Because that's the iPhone ring.
So it's almost like Mercedes-Benz.
Even our engineer got an iPhone. He's on the Clubhouse
bro, we
app.
normally like this, bro. We normally
he's on the Clubhouse app.
Bro, you gonna leave me out here in this Android world, bro? You gonna leave me out here in this Android world by myself, bro?
That's a tough world.
I'm just saying that's like analog in a digital world.
That's a tough one.
Mom, tell me you got at least one of this to make me feel comfortable. You got one of these too. Past tense?
Her son told her to go ahead and switch over. Because it's easier. You can FaceTime, you know what I'm saying?
It was going to be a little hard for me, but I caught on just like that.
Yeah.
She ain't making it no better.
If I need to send you some pictures, I can airdrop it to you. I ain't got to text it to you. You understand? Then you got text. Now you got to send it to your phone. The airdrop is already in your savings.
I like airdrop. I do. I like FaceTime. I don't like the fact that my phone don't have it, but help a brother out.
Now you gotta do a duo.
Yeah, you got duo, don't you?
Nigga, don't be like that. Don't be acting like you. Don't be acting like you care. Like, you know what I'm saying? Don't be acting.
I mean, we got duo too.
You being facetious right now.
We got duo too.
But in the moments, most when people create an app, they always start with iPhone. So there's always a step behind.
You know what? I might have to go on and just cross over and catch me an iPhone, man. I hate that I just feel like it's just sucking me in, man. It just, it's pulling me in, and I like the buck. I like to buck the system a little bit.
My house is a 50-50. I have, it's 4 people in my house, me and my 3 kids. And me and my oldest son have an iPhone, and my 2 younger kids have an Android. So,
see?
We half and half.
But I'm pretty sure at some point,
with all respect, my oldest son bought his own iPhone. I didn't purchase it for him, so, he wanted it. He got it.
Well, I'm pretty sure before they all graduate, they all going to have iPhones.
When they buy it themselves.
Well,
that birthday money start rolling in, you may want to think about what you want to do with it.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I'm gonna see about getting me an iPhone. I gotta be nice to some people or something. I don't know.
We gonna get you one. Y'all out there, if y'all listening, if y'all on the radio, y'all want to send us some money for Duke's iPhone.
Don't give me no iPhone 5 neither.
Y'all want to send it?
I don't want that because they gonna still clown me. It's like, you know what I'm saying? You finally get a pair of J's, but they hand-me-downs and they a little too big. But you got J's though. You like that? I want to kill them. But the white sold and turned a little eggshell white. You know what I'm saying? It ain't ivory white no more. It's a little off white. Like you like.
All right, we're gonna get off you and your iPhone. I have to ask you. So, if you could reach out and say anything to your target audience, what would you let them know about you and your journey and what you want to accomplish in your career?
Just if I can reach out to my audience and tell them anything, just to go. I I always encourage people to just find your purpose and go for it and go for your dreams. You know, one thing about me, I don't look at for excuses. I look for how I can accomplish it and make it happen. And I feel like this year, a lot of people have just given up on themselves. And for me, this year has just been more creative than ever because we've been in quarantine. We've had this moment where we're just home to ourselves. And I just tell people to stay inspired, stay encouraged. A lot of stuff I birthed this year. You know, I have my own podcast that I'm doing that I birthed, DNA podcast, where me and my friends, we get together and inspire people. So I just tell people, based on my journey, you can either wallow in your pain and feel sorry for yourself, or you can get up and you know, let your pain push you towards your purpose. And that's just pretty much what I do, you know, and what I've been doing. And I just been, you know, striving for success and not finding excuses. There's so many excuses we can give ourselves about why not to do it, but you know, you talk yourself into it and why you should do it.
Okay. And if you have any social media, if you have a website, and people kind of want to stay connected with you, how can they do that?
Wait, before you say that, I want to ask you something. What outside of what you've written yourself, what's a good book that you may reference, or you know, do you have like a certain author that you like to read, or a book that you just recently read that really kind of gave you just insight or something like that?
Yeah, it's a book called by Robert Kiyosaki that I was just reading. I was with a group of mentors of mine, and I believe it's called 1,000 Ways of Success Towards Creating a Business. And it was just really just talking about a lot of the excuses we make of why not to be successful and why we don't want to go forth and do things. We try to talk ourselves out of things before we even actually do it. And it's just very an inspirational book.
Okay.
Robert Kiyosaki.
That's Rich Dad Poor Dad, right?
Yeah, he did Rich Dad
Okay.
Poor Dad. And
Right.
it's another book that I don't quote me on the title, but I know it's something to do with business in it. But it was just a very creative book, and it just really helped me to understand that a lot of times we can be our own worst enemy. As far as what was the other question you asked me?
What book have you read, or do you have a particular author? Like, you know, you already said that you read that.
Yeah.
Is that the particular author you like to kind of stick with to keep
I like
yourself
to-
level-headed and, you know, in the right direction, or
Yeah,
do you have
because,
certain authors you listen to?
Yeah, because
Or read, I'm sorry.
I'm inspired by his success. I always try to read different people who are very successful. I read a book from Steve Harvey. I think it was called Success, something Keys to Success. I'm not good with titles, but it was just a great book. It's on there. Steve Harvey has a book as well. But I mean, I'm just inspired by people. What I try to do is read people's book who is at a level of success that I want to be at. And you know, Steve Harvey, I watched his journey, and a lot of them who just created their own ways and made their own paths towards success. And as far as like authors, I'm inspired by different poets. I love Maya Angelou, Langston Hughes, or W.E. Du Bois. So I'm into, I dibble and dabble in different things. So.
Okay. Now, what's your favorite, you know, genre of movie? Do you like drama, action? You say you do a lot of comedy. Didn't you write?
Well, I don't write comedy. As far as acting.
Okay, I'm sorry.
I write a lot of drama. I love anything with some good cliffhangers.
Okay.
I love some great shows.
Like some good plot twists and shit like that?
Plot twists. It has to keep me into it. I have a short attention span. It got to get me within the first 5 minutes or I'm turning it off. So it got 5 minutes. If it ain't a good plot twist or something that's going to keep me interested, and I turn the channel very much.
Do you watch a lot of independent films?
I do. I love independent. I'm addicted to the Aspire channel because
Yeah.
a lot of good movies come on the independent films, and I like watching stuff with people who are coming up in the industry.
Right.
I find a lot of the independent movies, even though I told you there's a lot of trash sometimes on BET, but some of those movies are some of the best movies. And I'm like, why aren't some of these movies bigger than what they are? Because they're really, really good. So, yeah.
That's a marketing budget
Yeah.
that you gotta have to
Yeah.
put out there.
What? Let me ask you before we close.
He like the
What-
pastor. He
what-
like, I'm gonna just keep it 5 more minutes.
Well, I mean, because these are just questions that I have, but I also talk to people and we ask these questions or whatnot. But what streaming platform, you know, are you aiming to put your content on, or do you have your content on a streaming platform at this point?
Well, I started filming stuff in Los Angeles and didn't come out the way I wanted it to. So when I moved to Atlanta, I really built my production company and I'm starting fresh. So when I do my film, I've been seeing a lot of people doing stuff and putting them on Amazon Prime and things like that. So I'm looking into things
And
like
Tubi.
Are you gonna find your own distributor, or are you gonna try to do it yourself?
Oh, now you got questions. You want to piggyback off my questions. Pardon her questions, sir.
And
I'm a firm believer in trying to do it myself, but if I'm able to afford, I want to help someone to get it, distribution for me. But I'm a very adamant about promoting your own stuff before anybody promotes you, because I feel like nobody's going to be more passionate about your work than you are. So you're not going to get out there and promote it and put it out there. Just like with my book, you have to be your own advocate sometimes and get it out there for people. So I'm looking into all different lanes, and hopefully eventually I have my own network and I can put my own stuff out there.
Well, speaking on books, we need to know where people could find this book, where people could find you.
Now you want to go back to my question.
And I want to know if you can sign my book.
Sure.
Nah, he can't sign your book.
If you want Purpose Pains, it's available on Amazon.com. It's also on my website, www.Deonte. So it's D as in dog, EONTE, B as in boy, OLDEN Productions.com. I have my website. As soon as you get on my website, the book pops right up and leads you to Amazon. And I'm a weirdo. I Google myself all the time. So if you type in Purpose Pains on Google,
I Google myself all the time.
Yeah,
I'm the top-rated Toni Dominique.
I do it from time to time myself. Yeah.
I like to see how relevant I am.
Yeah, what pops up.
Well, also if you Google yourself, that means somebody is looking for you, so it helps you.
Yeah. So if you just type in Purpose Pains, I've been all over and promoting this thing. You'll see it, and it'll lead you right to the book. So.
Well, thank you so much for coming in. We really appreciate it. You gave us some great words and great story that I'm sure we're ready to get down and read and tap into. Make sure y'all get the book. We're going to play the next song of the night. It is called Put That Shit On.
Whoa.
That's the name of the song.
Got somebody's mama in here.
That's the name of the song. She done heard it. She in the car. She knows the video. But anyway, it's by Young Book. So y'all tap in and listen to it.
We lit!
Oh, Bubba did. I know I can. Oh, Bridget. I know I can. Tyler Berry bit. I know I can. I know I can. I know I can. Bria said it. I know I can. Steve Harvey did. I know I can. Ultra Park did. I know I can. I know I can. I know I can. I teach you right from wrong. Boy, this world is cruel. Grow up to be a man and follow all the rules. We're dying every day from the piece of steel. Because the piece we know is now what's getting the skill. Hands in the air, to them don't mean a thing. Look at what they did, cause Martin had a dream. Because your skin is brown, it's hard to be a man. Chest out, chin up. Tyshawn, I know you can. The baby did. I know I can. Cardi B did. I know I can. Usain Bolt did. I know I can. I know I can. I know I can. Sherelle did. I know I can. Will Smith did. I know I can. Michelle Obama did. I know I can. I know I can. I know I can. Obama did. I know I can. Oh, Bridget. I know I can. Tyler Berry bit. I know I can. I know I can. I know I can.
Hey, yo, Ran, turn that up.
I know you be dealing with all these hoes, but they don't do it like me and it shows. I can take you higher, baby, you know it's fire. I want you all to myself just tonight. I want your body until the sunrise. Let me take you up to the sky. Baby, oh baby, it's you that I like. I go blind when we dance in the light. That's why we make love nights. Tonight, I want your body to know. Tonight,
It's hard dealing with addiction, hard breaks it cause affliction. Tonight I need my fixing, about to give you what you missing. I know you got a man, I got got a girl, so I ain't tripping. It's going down, cause right now I'm on a mission. And I ain't worried about your man, cause he ain't no competition. Your body like a drug, I get high when I get in it. I'm high when you on that spinning. I get strong when I get in it. I get drunk off your love, man. With you, the shit is different. You ain't like these other women. You got class and you authentic. Between your legs, have me swimming. I'm in nights out on Venice. Aye. Come, let's catch a vibe. Hop off in this rape and let's ride. Stars in the ceiling, you can see the sky. See the twinkle in your eyes. I can tell that you want it, so don't be shy. Yeah, so don't be shy.
I know you be dealing with all these hoes, but they don't do it like me and it shows. I can take you higher, baby, you know it's fire. I want you all to myself just tonight. I want your body until the sunrise. Let me take you up to the sky. Baby, oh baby, it's you that I like. I go blind when we dance in the light. That's why we make love nights. Baby, oh baby, it's you that I like. I go blind when we dance in the light. That's why we make love nights. Baby, oh baby, it's you that I like. It's you that I like. Baby, oh baby, it's you that I like. It's you that I like. I know you be dealing with all these hoes, but they don't do it like me and it shows. I can take you higher, baby, you know it's fire. I want you all to myself just tonight. I want your body until the sunrise. Let me take you up to the sky. Tonight, I want your body to know. Tonight, I just want your body. I just want your.
Right, and we are back
That
in
was
the
lit.
building. So I misspoke. The last two songs we played was the first one was I Can, and his name actually, so that's a 4-year-old artist, and it was him featuring his mommy. That's actually what the song says. His name is I don't want to say it wrong. It's Tachan. I'm gonna say it's Tachan. It's Tachan, and it was him featuring his mommy, and it's a song called I Can. If y'all remember last week, if y'all are avid listeners, we had In the Crib in the building, and they cater to youth artists. And their mom was watching that show, and she put in that song, and I just had to play it. So shout out to the 4-year-old rapper. You know what I'm saying? These artists are getting younger and younger and younger, and they're out here doing some major things. So shout out to Jachan. And then the second song we followed up with was actually Catch a Vibe by Palmetto Parks. So those two songs back to back to back. I want to give those artists their credit, because I did say another song that we did not play. So I'm sorry, y'all, but you know what I'm saying?
Get it right.
Both great songs, and I
They were
love the
lit.
things coming out of you artists. So keep sending them in, keep sending them in. Okay.
Now, let me ask you this. We get a lot of music submitted, and there's a lot of music that y'all do not hear. Would y'all like a night if we just played the music that just don't make the cut?
I don't know. Like, is that like bullying people? Like, you know what I'm saying? Bad Music Chronicles?
I mean, you're not gonna know. We're not gonna say, "Hey, this is the night we're gonna play the shit we don't normally play." We're not gonna say that. It's gonna be a day, and you're gonna be like, "Bro, like that day, I wasn't liking none of those." And we be like, maybe that was the shit that didn't make the cut.
I feel like the audience would turn it off if we played a whole show of just horrible music.
Right.
I don't think I could sit there throughout it.
That would be tough.
I'd be like, ugh. Like, just, you know what I'm saying, sitting there and listening to the music that gets sent in, I'd be like,
And then her children be like, "Mom, don't send me no more. Unless it's gonna be good." We like, well, we use y'all to let us know if it's good. You know, so we gotta send you everything we got, so you can let us know if this is worth listening to. So, you know, y'all getting engaged by some teenage boys and their football teams and their classmates and schoolmates and neighborhood mates and whatnot. You know, so yeah.
I don't know.
That's who dictating who will get played, and just sometimes we gotta throw it in there and be like, "Nah."
Maybe I'll start throwing one or two in there, just to.
Oh, maybe not. You know, I was just kind of reaching. Maybe the world ain't ready for that. You know.
I'm gonna throw it in there.
Maybe they're not ready for
that.
that.
In the beginning when we used to do the Lit or Nah, we used to definitely have some songs that was real suspect.
Yeah. Yeah, some shit that was like,
Maybe we should just bring that back.
Who ordained this? You know what I'm saying? But nah, I mean, even for people who submit stuff, you giving us options. So we kind of clowning and stuff like that, but we really really appreciative, and thankful for everything that you submit. And I also want to say, going into but once we cross over to 2021, we're gonna make a few changes. So y'all get ready for that. Everybody who gets the newsletter and emails and stuff like that.
Yes, new website coming up in 2021. So we're going to have a lot of great stuff for you.
Yeah. So just get ready for that. And change is just, and I was just talking to, shout out to Smitty over at Legacy Cut Barbershop over there in Snellville, off of Centerville Highway by the Walmart in Annistown, where I cut hair. And I was talking to the owner, Smitty. And we was talking about just change and how a lot of times when people don't see the bigger picture, they just see their piece in the matter. They don't understand the necessary change that has to take place.
Yeah, that's real. But we're gonna move on to the lit conversation. The reason this topic was chosen is because it started a real debate over on that other platform that I'm not gonna say again because they probably do owe me a check at this point.
Yeah.
But so the question is posed. You know what I'm saying? We want to talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly of dating someone of the opposite sex who has kids. When kids are involved, like we want to talk about what your experience could be. And you know what? I want to start with my engineer. I want to start with you. So, Kaleb, have you ever dated a woman with kids? And are you pro do it or no do it? And what were those experiences like for you if you had?
I haven't dated. I have had relations with a few women with kids, but I personally wouldn't do it. The only way I would be open to do it if that woman understands that when we get to that certain point of it, hey, this is going to be us, that I'm going to take care of these kids like it's they my own kids. You get what I'm saying? So that means whether from feeding them to disciplining them to the whole nine. And I know my problem would be is, well, I see like a lot of problem with people is women they're not open to that. It's always, these are my kids, we're gonna do it like this, we're gonna do it like that. And I feel like it's a big responsibility, not necessarily that you're asking somebody to come in and take care of your kids, but to bring a dude in and y'all get serious and then he's trying to be the man of the house or whatever, and then a problem or something occurs or whatever, and he tries to handle it as a man, and it's kind of like, hold on now, these my kids, or this is my home, or that's where it's kind of like
she creates that divide.
Yeah, and then on top of that too, it's a lot. Like especially if you got a crazy baby daddy or baby mama, like that's a lot for somebody to deal with. And my thing about it is you never know how people are gonna react to that. Like me personally, I feel like it's a bad deal. But like I said, if you do find that person, because I know there's women out there or men out there that they'll bring people in or meet people, whatever, and then they're open to letting whoever, once they get to that point, like do whatever it needs to be done. But the majority aren't like that. So that's how personally I would not be open to that.
Okay.
I think he probably would like somebody, if you meet a chick and she had like a kid that's under 3, good grooming age, still in good grooming, then that haven't quite got anchored into the character of who they want to be, and the baby daddy is probably in jail or dead. And you'd be like, oh, that's great.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, this is it.
He ain't in the picture.
Yeah, that's cool. I can still groom little girl, little guy. I can still be influential, and So I definitely feel you. I don't know. This for me, in my younger years, I'll be like, no. You know what I'm saying? And I tell any young man, no, don't do it. And the reason why I say this is not because the woman is not valuable. The woman doesn't deserve you. In the younger age, you are to be selfish. You are to focus on you. You are to get your foundation laid, figure out what your purpose is, as we spoke earlier in the show. Find out how you could become passionate about that purpose or passionate about something. And, lay your foundation for what you want for you. Once you lay the proper foundation, then you can start building on family. Because once you start, listen, this is the thing. When you deal with a woman with a kid, you instantly have a family. When you deal with a woman and she doesn't have a kid, you just have a girlfriend. So when I say that is, if that woman is a quality woman, if her child or children are not in the best position, then her level of intimacy and sex and things that she wants to do with you, maybe for you, is just not going to be right. And it's only because she's a quality woman who cares about her kids and their well-being and everything that goes on with their, household. So you, as a man, like my dad told me when I was younger, if you have a girlfriend, and this is a teenage me, he said, because I'm going around like, oh, that's my girlfriend, that's my girlfriend. And he's like, okay, cool. Well, if this is your girlfriend and her car break, you got to give her your car. And that was just his philosophy for, if this is the person that you claiming that you want to say, this is my girlfriend, then that is beyond just saying, I'm going to put a title on this person. No, this person has to wear the title of being my girlfriend. That is your responsibility. That's why when they're doing the whole ceremony of marriage and things of that nature, the whole dad walking the daughter down the aisle is, I'm passing this, this young lady over to this young man. Now you are her responsibility. I mean, she is your responsibility. So she's going to come seek you first. And if, I'm just an additive or backup support system to what y'all are going to do. So if you're not willing to, I like to say, from a young man to a more seasoned individual, if you're not ready to take a woman on and take her on as your responsibility, you don't deserve to have that relationship. And once a woman have a kid or children, it just heightens it. You know what I'm saying? She cares more about other things outside of herself, and you're going to have to care about those things. And then when you talk about, I've dealt with women who take care of their parents because their parents are sick. That's almost the same thing. You have to then say, okay, I got to deal with this person, understanding that if we then cohabitate, now I'm bringing the elder into my home. My home going to be governed a certain way. You know what I'm saying? So if you're used to a lot of hanging and all that, and mom's is there, she might not be able to have the mobility, but she got the right mind. So now you got to monitor, your energy and your company, you keeping and, things of that nature. If you was a single guy and you like to have a few people over and have some music, turned up a little bit, you might have to alter that. You know what I'm saying? If your woman may be having a certain responsibility on her plate, so, it's not the worst thing ever, what I'm saying, at all. But I wouldn't tell somebody, hey, go and do that as a first option. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like, but then also I've dealt with women who are not, mothers. And I feel like those women were not sensitive to understand parenthood. If she wants to go out on a dime, I may not be able to do that. Or if she calls me and she constantly calling me or wanting to schedule something, and that's on my week, I have my child, and she just not understanding, and her whole thing is, well, if we can't make this work, I guess it won't work. Well, I mean, if you understood parenting and you was more sensitive to that, we could make this work. Right. But, she didn't care. So, it's just, you just gotta, it's energy, it's circumstance, it's situation, and, and it's crazy because when they tell you about love and relationships, they never talk about that. Right. They always talk about love.
Right.
They never say.
They don't talk about the dealings.
The dealings, the inner workings, the situation, and you know what I'm saying? Like, would you deal with somebody if she was the best option that you came across, but she just loved to dress sexy. She bad now. She a corporate chick and everything, but she just loved to dress sexy. I'm talking about, you be like, when you saw her, you like, fuck, and you got to know her, but she can't come off that look. And you like, well, damn, we got kids. Oh, you like, we got kids, we evolving to a different place. Even at church, she wears something, got her shoulders out. You're like, man, she look good. And she works out and she feel like I have the right to show myself. And it's not disrespectful, but it's sometimes like, man, it's a little too much. She ain't coming off it. You see what I'm saying? Or somebody you deal with, a woman deals with a young man and, he's a workaholic and, he pays the bills and he's a good guy, but he's not really into the fabric of the, the household. You know what I'm saying? So you got to ask yourself what you willing to deal with, with some things that are deal breakers. Yeah. So, what about you?
I would say for me, in my younger years, I didn't really want to date men with kids. Specifically, I didn't want to date men with daughters. And the reason I say that is because I've always had the mind frame that kids don't come first. Like, I understand I'm a mom, and I've been a mom for 17 years, but kids don't come first. And the reason I say that is because when my kids leave, when your kids leave, when everybody is gone, you know what I'm saying, we're older, it's just us. And when we're first linking out and meeting up, we got to build a platform. We got to build a strong us. And if we can't build a strong us in the beginning, and we're waiting, you know, years on years on years down the line, and, you know, so now the kids out, you know, we done spent 17 years. Like, we done put ourselves into the kids. We done spent 17, 18 years in these kids. And then now they're going off to college, and they got their little girlfriends and wives and whatever. Now we got to look at us. You know what I'm saying? But we really didn't pay attention to us during that time because we were focused on the kids. And so now you got, okay, well, how could y'all be together for 17, 20 years and now y'all divorced? Well, that's it, because I don't know you. I only know you as dad of kid, mom of kid. And so I didn't want to date specifically dads with daughters, because when dads have daughters, that's their, you know, that's the apple of their eye. That's like the belle of the ball, the princess of the castle. So they want to spoil that person. And so within that, there wasn't enough room for you to build a foundation with me, because you needed to be there for your daughter, and I respect that. But having a different set of mind and telling the dad, you know what I'm saying, yeah, your child is important, she cute, but we need to work on us, was a hard thing to say to somebody, especially as a mom. But and you know, dads are really like defensive when they have daughters. They were like, I gotta, you know, because in most cases, you know, your kids don't live with you, unfortunately. So when you get that time, you're like, I gotta overdo it for my kid because I see them less. And that was a lot to take into, and a lot to process, that I just didn't want to do it. You know what I'm saying? Because no one thought like me. You know what I'm saying? Even with my own kids, they don't come first in my life. Now they're top and they're very important, but they don't come first, because I need my husband to understand that we're building a platform. And when I meet a good quality guy, I want you to understand that, yes, I have kids, and be a good person to those kids, and not make it feel like I'm choosing, because a good person doesn't make you feel like you're choosing. It just, you know, it's a natural order of house. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's us, and then we're, as a us, we're taking care of them. But they don't overpower us, because without us, there really is no them. So I was just a little different. So dating males with kids was really hard, because I couldn't get anybody on that mindset wave. And because I'm gonna love your child like it's my own, you know what I'm saying? And then you have to deal with, whether they have a son or daughter, you have to now deal with the feelings of the child's mother. You know what I'm saying? Like, every mother wants to be like, oh, I'm okay because I'm over him, and you know what I'm saying, I ain't got no feelings for him, we done. You know what I'm saying, I got somebody else. Or even if they don't have nobody else, I mean, especially if they don't have anybody else, then you're dealing with the, oh, he over there happy and I'm lonely. You know what I'm saying? And then it's like, that's another dynamic. Or if they have somebody else, sometimes it triggers. Sometimes people just don't want to see their other person happy, and even if they are happy, they don't want them to be happier than them. And that's the reality that I didn't want to date or deal with. Now, as I grow, I'm more okay with who I am. So I can, you know, I could date a person with a child, but, you know what I'm saying, it takes a special mindset. You know what I'm saying, whether you're young or old, it still takes a special mindset. And fortunately for myself, I've grown to that understanding. So now it's a little easier to date, you know, people with kids.
Okay.
You went into
Cool.
a special.
No, I was actually just thinking about my next question. I was going to ask Kaleb, if you was dating a young lady with, you know, 2 kids under the age of, one's 7, say one's 4, and they have an active dad, would you feel comfortable if she felt comfortable allowing her kids to call you dad with them having an active father?
Personally, no, because you gotta pops. You know what I'm saying? Like, even if, like, I promise you, I was in a situation when I was in the military. I was messing with this girl, and her daughter was like, what, 3, 4, whatever, old enough to call me by my first name.
Right.
So I used to go over there so much that one time I came over there and the little girl, like, I don't know where she was in the house, but I opened the door and she just came running around saying my name, like, run up to me, open arms. And, you know, the girl's mom, she used to tell me about, you know, her and her baby dad's situation, and it wasn't the best, but bro was still doing enough, or you know, doing, like I said, doing a bare minimum, but he was doing enough. Not like he was just a dad.
He was doing something that where the child knew that was her dad.
Yeah, but it was still to the point where, like, I wouldn't be there, or say I wouldn't come over for whatever reason. I'm out doing my thing, you know, running around, whatever. And she would text me and be like, "Yo, my daughter keep asking about you. When next time you come back over here?" And it was like, it was weird for me. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like you know, barely. I love kids. You know what I'm saying? I'm the oldest of 5, so I love being around little kids. I love playing with kids. Love teaching kids stuff, whatever. So it was like to see that, like, from a little person that, you know, it's something I'm not used to, and knowing that you got like a, you know, father figure, or at least a dude that comes around that's your dad. It was weird for me. You dig what I'm saying? So like, it's one of those situations where it was like, for me personally, if I was in that situation, I would try to, like, tell her and speak with the kids on, like, building that relationship between the kids, and you know what I'm saying? Because as a black man, I hate to see, you know, when kids don't have a father or they grow up. You know what I'm saying? I got homeboys and homegirls that got daddy issues and all that, and it's a terrible thing to see. So my thing is, I would never, like, stop somebody from, you know, trying to raise their kids, or regardless of, you know, if it's whatever the situation is. Now, if you're dealing with somebody and that person just can't get right, and they just be on some whole left stuff to the point where it's like it's getting toxic, it's causing issues with your kids, and you just and that, okay, cool, let me step in and put my foot down, and hey, bro, we don't, if you're gonna come around and this is what's gonna happen, we don't need you around here. You know what I'm saying? And that's just it.
I think, like, for me, and I'm only saying this because I'm actually in a situation where my kids call somebody that's not necessarily their biological dad, but he has been around them since they were like 2 and 3 years old, and their dad has not. You know what I'm saying? So at some point, you know, we were together for years, and they just grew that bond, and they, you know, still to this day, they their dad is trying to kind of come back in, but you know what I'm saying, they're like, you know what I'm saying, you wasn't there. They're teenagers. They're old enough to make up their own mind and decisions, and they still call my youngest son's dad. Like, that's what they do. I mean, they acknowledge, you know what I'm saying, that's not my biological dad. It's in their mind. They understand what that means. But, you know what I'm saying, it was just, that was the dad figure in their life. Now, without, like, you know what I'm saying, with an absentee parent, I feel like, you know what I'm saying, if you're going to step in the role dad, you have to step it full-heartedly. You know what I'm saying? That means, like, when we're not together, if we decide not to be together, you can't tap out of that dad position. So I think if you find somebody with that mindset, like, you know, no matter what, no matter if I hate you, no matter if we go through something, these are still my kids. I think, you know what I'm saying, that adult mindset can make that work. But if you're not that type of person, then I only think the dad word should come into play if you're married. You know what I'm saying? Then it's a bonus dad, or it's a stepdad, or something like that. But if you don't have that adult mindset, I don't think we should teeter along the line unless you know the responsibility that comes with that name.
That's interesting. That's a good way to look at it. I don't know, for me, you know, because I'm a girl dad, and you know, my daughter doesn't live with me. You know, I feel like I really don't feel like, if you have an active father, I don't think that title should be given to nobody, even if the mother gets married. You know what I'm saying?
But you
know,
have a stepdad. Don't
right.
you call him your stepdad?
In reference. Like, if I'm referencing. Like, if somebody's like, oh, Keith, and I'll be like, yeah, my stepdad. Or if I'm just referencing the difference between my stepdad. So, you know, that's a different, that's just referencing something. But to be like, I'm going to call him dad, no. You know what I'm saying? Because I had an active dad, and however good or bad he probably was or whatever, he was active. He was really active. You know what I'm saying? I knew who he was. I was at his house every weekend type thing. And you know, again, I feel like when you're a parent, period, you know, mom or dad, I know every parent has had that moment when they sat down and just looked at their child. You know, maybe your child is dealing with asthma. You know, maybe your child was maybe, you know, just dealing with something at the time, and you just kind of had a moment of emotions just came upon you. You're like, damn, am I making all the right decisions? You know, listening to my daughter chest wheezing and, you know, putting my hand on her chest, making sure she's breathing properly and, you know, barely getting the proper sleep because I want to make sure she's comfortable. You know what I'm saying? I've cried over mine. You know what I'm saying? I've sat there and watched her and cried over mine. So I'm not saying somebody else doesn't do that, but that's something that you're not just gonna cry over any kid. You know what I'm saying? You know, but when you watch that kid, you know, from the beginning stages of the sex moment to the 9 months, 10 months, to the birthing, to everything up until, you know, the moment of having this type of conversation. I'm pretty sure there's a lot of emotions. And I wouldn't allow somebody, if I was dating a woman, she has kids, and her kid tried to call me dad, I wouldn't allow that because I know I don't have that type of investment in the kid and the time.
So what if the person does get that investment? Like, what if you would put your life on the line for that child, even though it's not biological? What if you would cry for that child? And
well, I guess if that was the case, then, you know, I can respect if the dad is not active. You see what I'm saying? Like if you have a dad that's active, I just think that, and just coming from somebody who had a stepfather ever since I was 10 months, and he wasn't like, in some moments of my life, my stepdad was way more awesome, light years ahead of my real dad. But in some areas, my real dad was, you know, and I understood that, and the level of respect. So I'm big on name, family, titles, and all that. You know, it's like, you think you me, if we work together, we might almost make about the same, but I have the title of supervisor. But just because you do the same work I do, you run around thinking you on the same level as me. You're not. It's the reason why I had this title. It's the reason why I went and positioned myself for this. Now, when you go and position yourself, and you're a supervisor elsewhere, I get it. You hold the title too. But when it comes down to being a supervisor of this crew, this is my crew. Now, if you're going to get your own crew, then you in that space of being a supervisor and managing crew, and that's cool. But this crew here, even if we do some of the same workload, I got this. You see what I'm saying? If you support that, that's a great thing. But for me, I don't know, and maybe maybe just my opinion, but I wouldn't want somebody to call me unless I really, and the only way you can really invest is just good time. Right. Good time heals and reveals, and it bonds. You know, just coming in saying I'm about to spend money, come on, man. Like if my stepdad met my mom, I was 12, he gonna spend money, I'm gonna appreciate the money you're spending in the gifts and shit. Right. But you ain't about to get no dad name. That was lame. Like I remember when my step siblings tried to call my mom. It was only because they was upset at their mother, or it was just something at the. Not all of them did do it. Just my sister did it, and but it didn't last. It didn't have no staying power.
Right. So I think that's why I say like it depends on it's situational for me. I get it. I don't know that I would want my kids to call anybody mom. But I don't really have any preference on the word stepmom. Like, I get it because I believe that once we have kids and we're not together, everybody that's connected, if you decide to marry somebody else, we're all family. Like, when family is family, if we all, whatever this side and that side, that just means more people to love that child.
But that title mom it has a lot of weight.
Which is why I said I'm okay. I wouldn't want them to be like, hey, you're my mom, but I'm not against stepmom because now when they're with you, you are now the mother figure in that atmosphere. Right. And so I
had a stepmother too, and my stepmother was pretty awesome. You know what I'm saying?
Right, but you're now so that means I need you to be motherly to my child when I'm not there. I want you to have the mindset.
Now you know what's crazy? My dad, my biological dad, once he got married. Before then, not really, but once he got married, he sat me down and, it was one morning and him and my stepmother was laying down, and this was before my little sister got here, and I think I was maybe like 11 or something like that, and he was like, hey, this is your new mom, and I was like, wait, I don't have an old mom. You know what I'm saying?
Just
like,
a new mom?
I was a logical kid, right? I was just a logical kid, and I guess it's the environment I grew up in. The walls were thin. I had a lot of straight shooting, transparent, forward type people. So logic was always around me. So I was a logical kid, and I was like, well, I don't have an old mom. And he was like, and my response was just logical. And sometimes when you got a kid and they're logical, it might seem like they're getting smart with you. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, he was like, hey, well, this is your new mom now. We're married, and I want you to call her mom. And I was just like, I was thrown off. Because in my mind, I knew what mom meant. That's like finding me a grandma and be like, hey, this your new grandma. Like, no. She ain't never rubbed no Vicks at my nose, and you know what I'm saying? And she ain't never cut a notch out the tree and to make my asthma go, no. Like, you know what I'm saying? No. Like, I'm not just giving that to know anybody. You know what I'm saying? And it just, I don't know if it was just me or what, but the title is, you earn that. You know what I'm saying? So just to give it to somebody just because that person's playing that space, nah. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'll call her, you know, Lisa, or I'll call her, you know, they were like, we call her Mama Lisa. They just want to put mom in there. And I was like, no.
Well, we could definitely talk about this all day. Maybe we'll bring that back and talk about it in the next show. But you know what I'm saying? We don't want to get in trouble by the network. So once again, thank you all for tuning in. Shout out to our guest for coming in and telling us his story. Make sure y'all go get his book, Purpose Pains. And remember, today, tomorrow, and always stay living in today's time because
we lit!
Yeah. It's lit. It's lit. Yeah. Yeah. Hey. Yeah, it's lit. It's lit. It's lit. And like it ain't lit. L.I.T.T. L.I.T.T. And like it ain't lit. Yeah, it's lit. It's lit. It's lit. It's lit. And like it ain't lit. L.I.T.T. L.I.T.T. And like it ain't lit. Yeah, we 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 lit. It's lit. Cut the radio up. Grab the phone when the live on. This the latest station in the nation. Get your mind blown. Monday from 9/11, causing hectic 9/11. You ain't heard about from word of mouth. Come here, let me tell you. Got Toni on the mic, good celebrity at ATL, and we got Duke plus my dog Omar as well. It's a lituation every time you cut the station on. It's the lit network here, but we taking off.